Let's Uncommon Fossil, and today presenting an upgraded Serperior V-STAR starter deck, a very budget-friendly upgrade. I didn't want, look, I don't think Serperior V-STAR is the best of the starter decks. I don't think it has a ton of upside potential. You could do something like Shaman V-STAR that I think would make the deck better. That's the V-STAR. You need to get the V and the V-STAR, and so that's going to be more expensive. If you have the Shaman V-STAR, put it in the deck. I think that will help it out, and I do think that was on the Battle Pass previously, so you might want to go ahead and do that. But I don't think. If you don't have it, I don't know that's the best use of resources as a budget player. So look, the list is better. Let's get into it, what I've done. So I've tried to keep the list basically the same focus as what it is. So Serperior V-STAR is still the big attacker with a 2-2 line. Look, a third copy of the V would be good for the deck. You could even add a third copy of the V-STAR as well. Again, is it worth the expense if you don't already have it as a budget player? I don't know. So that's why I didn't do it. I haven't kept the Altarias because I like the Altarias. It's a lot of fun. It's part of what makes this deck fun. There's downside to the Altarias, but I've kept it in. So the 2 of each Altarias I've maintained. The Tempting Tune ability, right? You put a supporter from your deck on top. Search your deck, put a supporter you find there on top of your deck. I kept the Pyukumuku in because that helps with the Altaria. And then I'm with the Altaria the ability, and then the Magical Echo, still a very nice attack. And once we play the other Altaria, since they both evolved from Swablu, I've kept it in. You could cut a Swablu, honestly, if you want some deck space. 3 Swablus is probably fine, but this way I don't mind pitching away a Swablu with a Ultra Ball. So that's kind of the thought there. The other card, now the big thing that I've added, I got rid of the Cricketune V. All the Cricketoons are gone. The V, because the draw engine's not that great on it, and the plus 40 HP is nice, but it's a 1/1 line. The piece can be prized, and a lot of times it's not helpful. So I think will flow better without it, is what I'll say. Not that the Cricketune V, the basic Cricketune, single price Cricketune didn't have value. I don't think it had enough value for the deck space. So put in a 2/2 Bibarel line. At one point I even took out the Pyukumuku because Bibarel is a good draw. You can often get what you need from Altaria with it, right? Industrious Incisors, a very nice built card ability. Once during your turn, you may draw the F5 cards in hand. You could put a Skwovet in here. I had Skwovet in here at one point too. I've gotten it out. Perhaps the Pyukumuku should be replaced with Skwovet. That might be better. That probably is better. The downside is we have these low HP Swablus, the Altarias, particularly the 90 HP Altaria, and then if we have the Swablu down, we have a lot of low HP targets on the bench, and that is difficult these days with Radiant Greninja, Lost Zone with Sableye. We have vulnerability. Those bench vulnerable Pokemon isn't great. I don't have Mana Feed just because deck space and all. I just think it's better. I'd rather take the difficulties of Radiant Greninja and try to navigate that, but have the extra deck space. So kept the energy the same because I think it's pretty good. The 4 DTEs. DTE is really good for Altaria's attack and the Serperior V-STAR, and 8 grass. I think that's a good number. I've kept the Gardenia's Vigor. It's, you can work around. You might not want to use it necessarily, but it is useful. We do have to power up the Serperior V-STAR, so it is an option to do that. I like it. Cards I've kept in. Leafy Camo Poncho I think is very good on Serperior V-STAR, so kept that in. I've had 3 research. I think it had 4 before, so 3 is okay. With the barrel engine, we hit things a little bit faster. And of course, with Altaria, we can select the supporter we want with that ability, so I think 3 copies there is fine. Let's see. It has 1 Pal Pad. I think that was there before. Raihan, I have 2 copies. I think it had 1 copy before. Raihan is really good. It's Pokemon Search, I think, stayed the same. 4 Ultra Ball, 4 Nest Ball, and 4 Level Ball. Let's see. I put in 2 Iono. That was new. That wasn't in the deck at all. So 2 Iono's very good. And I put in Arven in the deck. I don't think that was in the deck originally either. I don't have a list of the exact changes. You can compare the lists there. Search for an item and a tool. Obviously, items are good, important for getting your Pokemon. And Leafy Camo Poncho, I do think is important in the deck. So Arven is the 1 card that lets us search for a tool. So I like that there. 2 Super Rods. I don't remember if I played any before or played 1. I'm pretty sure I did not play 2. And I think, especially since we only have a 2-2 line of Serperior V-Star, we need Pokemon recovery, so Super Rod is very important there. 2 bosses, super good card, of course, and 2 switches, very important. I found as I've been playing the deck with this, the opponents will often, when they get behind, they don't have much to do, they love to gust up these Bibarelos because the retreat cost of 2 is difficult, right? You either have to attach a DTE or get switch. So having at least 2 switches in the deck is good. So that's the list. And, you know, it's in the description below, so you can grab it and update it. It is very budget friendly. Like I said, I want to keep it that way. So you should have most of these cards. If you have to craft some, they're not expensive, and they are good cards that you get value in the long run with that will be useful in a lot of decks. So try out this upgrade to the deck, and let me know what you think in the comments below. All right, let's see how things go this game. Deck has been going okay today, just okay. Definitely not better than okay. But look, I'm not the hugest fan of the Serperior V-Star. I gotta say, it's probably my least favorite of the starter decks, and I wanted to keep it a budget-friendly upgrade. Partly to be budget-friendly, I think it's just is part of what is a budget-focused channel, and also I don't think. All right, so my opponent wants to attack, go second, so either a lost zone. Well, I will get a mulligan, so that's good. Get a sense of what they have before I bench something. So that's so they see that. Avery, water. So is it a Chen Pao deck? I don't know. Benching a lot of Pokemon, that seems odd. So the deck hasn't always set up, which is not a shock. This deck has also, all right, what do I want to do here? What do I do? All right, I have the Bibarel, so I might want to I'm going to put down a Bidoof. The Altaria engine is a little weird, I got to say, right? And I wanted to keep that in the deck. I'm a little surprised I wanted to go second, though, right? Because they don't really have the ability to attack meaningfully on turn 1, right? So they should, you know, I assume they play Baxcalibur, and certainly they play Palkia. Those are evolution cards. So, I mean, yes, Chen Pao's a basic. In theory, it can attack turn 1, but how are they going to get 2 energies on? I'm not sure about that. So, all right, so at this point, I go to Bibarel, and then I'm going to use the Ultra Ball for Serperior V-Star. I don't know what I'm going to top deck, and of course, I could get my hand disrupted. Okay, so Arven gets me what? A item and a tool. No, I don't want that. I don't think. I'd rather, there are better supporters out there. So what am I going to get rid of? I'm going to get rid of a Rod and a Raihan. I want to keep this because I might use I might end up using Arven, right? I've played out Serperior V. I need a double turbo is what I need to hit to be a happy camper. That's pretty good. Yeah, so I want to kind of fill up my bench here. Okay, my other V-Star is prize. So, okay, so I want to get down. So I'm going to research. Let me get down another Swablu. Partly it thins my deck, and I do want to get it on the board anyway. So, yeah, my other V-Star is prize. That's, you know, the danger is like with a 2-2 line, right? You run into that issue, but hey, the Bibarel paid off there quite nicely. Hopefully they don't knock me out, right? They could. Well, I don't know if they can. Now, right now, I've given up 2 targets for the Radiant Greninja. That's the thing I have done, though. That's a concern, right? And maybe, so that's the downside of the Swablus. I don't want to move. Oh, done. Okay. Don't want to move energy. I want my Serperior V-Star to stay powered up. I do want to get one of each Altaria down. Okay, so they're using the the horsey stuff, which is in the one starter deck, right? Which I'll be getting to. So if they have Palkia V-Star, they can attack 3. So they can one-shot me, actually. And maybe that's what they're going to do. They might one-shot my V-Star, and then I think I'm done with this game. Because my other V-Star is prized, and the Altaria on its own is just not going to get the job done. So probably see a Palkia V-Star, and then what's their, how much energy is in the discard, though? Just 2. 3, 4, and they need one more to attach or something. They need a third. They need to get 5 energies into play. So we will see what happens here. Yeah, we'll see what happens here. So Gardenia's Vigor. At this point, I would Iono, because that gets me 6 fresh cards. All right, so they're not. So they're going to attach. So they can take out my 2 Swablu's, which is fine. That's okay. That just, it's not great though, because it's a problem. It's a problem for me. Now they use their V-Star power. All right, they're going to get him stuck in the active, so they're playing the stall game. All right, well that's very nice, right? So Altaria. I need to get the other Altaria up. I need to get a switching card. Did I discard a switch? All right, played a switch. Okay, I'm down to 1 switch. So a DTE gets me the switch, or a switch card gets me the switch. So want to Iono. Give me a switch preferably, if not a DTE. Give me the other Altaria. Okay. Let me. Do I wanna? What do I want for next turn? So I'm going to make this play. I'm going to retreat. 170. So I mean I knock him out easily. Bench him. Let me draw my 1 card. Don't love it, but boss. Well, boss is a nice hit for sure. I'll sit on this. I'll use Altaria for next turn. I don't know what else I'd want. I want to think up at this point what I might get that I. So I could want a Raihan, right? If I get knocked out, Raihan's nice. So take the knockout. Don't move any energy. They can take 2 prizes with my. Oh, I keep doing the wrong thing there, don't I? So say done. I keep hitting inspect board over there. I don't know why. Done, I think, used to be over there, right? At one point, maybe in PTCGO or here. I don't know. All right, so that gives me another retreat card, because people do like to gust up the Bibarel, I will say, right? And it's a reasonable play. If you can't do anything, gust up a Bibarel. So another Palkia. Okay. So they're going to take out, I assume, the Swablu and Altaria. I'm going to take them out. So they're going to go tie me in prizes. All right, so they finally get a Frigibax down. And, oh, Candace. Interesting there. Okay. So what I want to do, let's see. Do they get a second Frigibax? They might have. If they don't get another Frigibax on the bench, they might. Then I think I want to boss up that Frigibax, right? So that they can. So that takes away the Baxcalibur next turn, which means they can't accelerate energy very well, right? So they're in a bit of a bind. They're also using Limit on this turn, right? And I do have Iono. I'm not going to use it because I really want to use the boss. I'm pretty sure I want to use the boss. Now the problem is, because of what I did with the Iono, the Raihan, it's going to come into my hand. So they got boss, but they can't use it. So I know they're going to. So I know they have boss for next turn. So that's not a smart play on their part. They should have waited on the Luminion. I mean, I can one-shot the Lumineon as well with my guys, so that's not a good. It's bad for that reason. It's bad for a bunch of reasons. I think I just want to take out the Frigibacks, the single prizer though, because then they have an energy issue next turn. So I can't. I've lost like a big piece of the deck. I think I want. Do I want to try to get another Altaria down? Right? That's one of my questions. I think I don't know that I do. Right? So let me. I'm going to gust you up because it causes a lot of trouble. Bench. I'm going to attach here. I'm going to wait on the Altaria, I think. Just because if they start getting the... and I don't want to move around energy. So I'm happy here like this. All right, so that Altaria was prized. But of course, this is the Altaria. It is nice to help things function. I do have another boss, though. So I think at this point, I one-shot. If he stays in the active, I one-shot him, and I save the boss to take out the Lumineon V. Because that's, the fact that they played Lumineon V means I have a two-prize option. With boss in hand and a Serperior VSTAR ready to go, I take two prizes. Which once I take one more prize, two prizes gets me game, right? So want to give the most options. I can't win this next turn. I can win potentially in 2 turns. I want to give myself the most options to do that, right? If I use boss this turn, then I probably can't make the play next turn. So they're taking a peek at the prizes. They got Pyukumuku. Okay. So they're going to pitch a Pyukumuku, probably to draw a card, which is fine. And we will see what happens here. So Super Rod recovers some cards. Again, that is fine. They can attach manually to Palkia. The problem is if they do that, I might end up burning the boss beforehand. Because then they'll take out the Serperior VSTAR the next turn, and my other VSTAR is prized still. So I would, if I take out the Lumineon V, the odds are in my favor that I draw into the Serperior VSTAR, right? Two out of those 3 cards. No, I'll draw 2 cards. So they're just going to leave him there to get knocked out, I assume, and that's okay. That is okay. So Rare Candy. So comes up to the Kingdra, and he gets, just make sure. So energy moves to him, 40 per energy attached. So, but they can't do huge damage unless they have a Baxcalibur to get more energy onto him for. So boss. So once again, they make that annoying play. That's unfortunate. So I'm gonna have to Iono here. So that's kind of stinky. It's very stinky, actually. So do I Pyukumuku or not, right? I'll pitch the Pyukumuku because I'm going to lose that when I play the Iono, right? So just get 1 extra card. I see. The more cards I see, the better. Need to Iono. These Bibarels get installed is becoming a real problem with this deck, I gotta say. That's not great at all. So I'll attach here. Now, so I guess I want to get my hand down to 0 cards, right? Do I want to... I don't think I want an Altaria on the bench, though. I think that's bad. I think I don't want to get any more Pokemon into play, though, right? So let's look. Do I have Switch in deck? I have a Switch. I have 2 outs here. 2 outs. So I'm just trying to maximize the hits, right? I'm going to draw 5 cards now. I have 2 out of these 5 cards that get me what I want. I would love the switch card's the better option, right? Because okay, that's not what I wanted. So I'll attach the energy, and I end turn. And so this could cost me, but I'm glad I didn't bench the Swablu still, I think. If they bench down, if they get a Frigibax down, then things get really tough for me, because then they can do big damage. Then they have more they can do the next turn. This is a good hand, though. I have the second energy, which I'll attach to Bibarel. I have the research, which I'll certainly play. If I hit the switch, I would probably use the switch. If I hit the switch, okay, they got a Chen Pao down, so that's good. Look, my big concern was the Frigibax. And I have a boss in deck, at least one boss. I've played one boss. I think the list plays 3. I might play 2. I know there's one because there's one I own it back. So they're not doing much. They were gust stalling me, right? They were the ones, they stalled me, and these Bibarels are awkward. I'm having to DTE a lot of times to retreat. I hit switch occasionally. The Altaria's engine is fragile, right, up against Lost Zones and up against these Rancor Ninjas. I don't like that play. Unless they think they can get another energy into play this turn, which I don't think they can. All right, I mean, I know I have in hand the knockout. And so that does 40. So that takes me down to 230. I mean, okay, I have the boss. So I want to keep the boss. I don't want to research the boss away, right? So I'll attach. I don't think I want to. I think I want to sit on the boss, right? I mean, I know it does. It damages me, right? That's a concern. I get 270. I go down to 230. I don't think they can knock me out, though, right? I don't. So let me use my ability. I only draw 1 here. I just wanted to make sure I didn't want to use the boss first, right? So I'm going to retreat. I still think I sit on the boss. I'm only taking 1 prize, so there's a decent chance that I do not draw into the V-Star, right? In which case I need to attack with this guy, right? So I'm going to keep the energies where they are. You know, that 40 damage could end up being a problem. It moves 1, and he can get to 3, but he will not knock me out. And he gets to 4, right? I'm still pretty sure, right? Did I do the math properly? 4, so 160. So yeah, they're short of that. He can't take me out. I have boss. They don't know I have boss. So that's a smart play for them. They need to send. I would have thought you send up the Palkia, right? To at some point to attack with Palkia. I can't one-shot the Palkia. So Irida, that's okay, right? I mean, at this point, I think I have game on board. I have the boss to get the Lumineon V. I don't think they can take out my active. If they take out my active, then I have a problem, right? I mean, that's the reality. I have a problem to take out my active, and I can do 100 damage is all he can do because he's got a DTE attached. I can manually attach 1 grass. That's not great. So getting a Palkia V, start getting a switch. I mean, that's a good play. I don't know that the Chen Pao was a smart play, but they need the energy. So I guess it gets them the Palkia. I assume they'll attack with Palkia V-Star this turn. 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times 120. So I think they're doing 180. They could get to 200 if they fill their bench. They'd need, I think, 2 Echoing Horns then to knock me out, which is not going to happen, right? I'm pretty sure they don't play it. The odds of that working aren't good. So there they attach to Palkia, switch into Palkia. They don't knock me out, though. So that's really good. I think you just switch into Palkia and hit and hope. I think that's their play. I don't know what else they have in their hand that could be an option. I mean, they could set up the single prizer, right? They could. I guess that's the option. They could attack with Kingdra. They don't take me out with him either, though. Then if I didn't have the boss, I would take out the Kingdra, and then the Palkia would finish me off next turn. I'd have one prize remaining still, and they would. So maybe they attack with Kingdra. I can see that. That probably is a smarter play for them. That's it. But I would have. My initial thought was Palkia. Maybe the Kingdra's the better play. Since they can't knock me out either way, don't leave the 2 prizer in the active. Give up the 1 prizer that I one-shot, but that doesn't help. That doesn't improve. That doesn't affect the end of the game, right? Their problem, of course, is they can't one-shot my Serperior V-Star. Lumineon V, I can one-shot. That's their problem, right? So, yeah, it's not resistant to grass. I was like, wait, let me double-check the... All right, being slow. I've had a lot of slow things. I mean, I know... Look, that's I'm pretty sure the better play. They could have had more energy attached between 4, but it still doesn't knock me out. So that's okay. And I just boss for win. So a good game to them, but didn't get going well enough for them. So 170. That Lumineon V, and look, I see a lot of people doing it too. They Lumineon V on a turn they can't play the supporter. Besides the fact that was the 2 prize liability that cost in the game, you really only want to use it on the turn when you're going to play that supporter. When you need that supporter, then it's worth that 2 prize liability. Otherwise, it's just not worth it, I don't think. Especially then, you don't play it on a turn where I'm pretty sure they didn't use it that turn. I could be wrong. I don't think they did. Anyway, so there's the deck as I revised it. I do think it's better. It's a very budget-friendly upgrade. So if you like the Serperior V-Star starter deck, have interest in it, take a look at these upgrades. It won't cost you much, and I think it does make the deck perform better. Take care.